What's going on, Flix Talkers? This is David and welcome back to another movie review. Now this one, I was a little delayed on and everybody was asking me, did you see Shazam this weekend? I did, alongside Pet Sematary, and I just wanted to kind of let it marinate, sink in. I wanted to see everybody else's reaction, and let me tell you guys, from a Marvel fanboy standpoint, this DC movie was probably my favorite by far. So I'll get into all my likes, my dislikes, what I thought could have been better or whatever just kind of pours out of my head, guys, and I'll let you know the real deal in this honest review right now. But before we get into all that, guys, make sure you guys are liking this video if you guys do like content like this, and hit that subscribe and bell notification to always get notified about content like this. All right, guys? Now, without further ado, let's jump into my Shazam non-spoiler review. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. Now, if you guys don't know already, I always do non-spoiler reviews, whether it says it in the title or not. For spoilers, it's always going to say spoiler review. All right, guys? Usually I do that in a more extensive podcast form, usually with a co-host as well, so we kind of have a dialogue back and forth, but I'll always let you know ahead of time if this is a spoiler review. So this one not being a spoiler review, you guys are safe for now, but I will talk about things that are in the trailer and things that aren't really pivotal plot points. All right, guys, so let's get right into Shazam 2019 from DC. Now, this film is directed by David F. Sandberg. He did Annabelle Creation and more notably Lights Out, a shorter film that I did see. I believe it was actually a short film that was expanded to a full movie length film. I think it was still under like an hour and 30 minutes. I really actually enjoyed that one. The Annabelle series, not too much. So that aside, it looks like he is directing his first like superhero movie, and what better way to jump into the genre by starting with Shazam. Now, this film does star Zachary Levi as Shazam, Mark Strong as Dr. Savannah, Asher Angel as Billy Batson, and Jack Grazer as Freddie Freeman, just to name a few. Now, a quick heads up, guys, you'll notice at the end of the movie there is a lot more cameos, so that's just a non-spoiler for you, but make sure you guys stick around to the end, as well as 2 post-credit scenes for this film to see some cool cameos and some awesome action scenes on what's to lead into this DC Shazam universe. Now, Shazam did a domestic total this past weekend of over $56 million according to BoxOfficeMojo.com. Now, add that onto the foreign sales of over $102 million, making that a ground total of over $159 million. Now, for something that I know nothing about, this looks like a great grossing movie so far. Alright, guys, so if you don't know anything about Shazam or know anything I'm talking about, if you're coming into this for the first time, let me give you a quick synopsis of the film Shazam. Shazam explores Billy Batson's life, an abandoned 14-year-old looking for his parents, isolating himself from anyone willing to give him anything until he is given a final chance to settle in with a new foster family. Billy runs into a powerful wizard and must take the mantle of Shazam, leaving him with a confusing face, a confusing body, confusing powers, and with no one to turn to but his foster family. Alright, guys, so right off the bat, what I really like about this movie is the story. So you have the kind of classic story about rebel kid who we find out is a foster child. He had a dramatic past where something did happen to his mother when he was a very young child, which led him from home to home. He held a lot of resentment for not really having a family, so he just started to rebel and act out. But he finally lands himself with a good foster family and a lot of good foster brother and sisters. Now, a really cool character was Freddie Freeman, someone that has a disability, but he learns to just kind of laugh it off and joke around all the time. Even with some of the bullies that are around in school, he always kind of just uses laughter as a remedy or to calm down the situation. And I really enjoyed his humor. And I could tell, even though this is marketed more towards a teen or tween demographic, me in my 30s, I still had fun with it. I chuckled a lot at his jokes, and he definitely made light of the situation at hand. Now, once we see Billy Batson obtain the power of Shazam, it is an awesome transformation. Zachary Levi definitely plays off someone that doesn't know what the hell is going on. He's a man-boy child, so the appearance of a full-grown man, maybe in his late 20s, early 30s, yet the brain of like a 14-year-old, all his mannerisms, he nailed it to the T with the dance moves, with all the slang that's going on with the younger kids nowadays, all his awkward situations and gestures, he nailed it to a T, and I really enjoyed seeing all that play out on the big screen. Like I said, once he turns into Shazam and we get to see all of his powers, or them trying to figure out what his powers are exactly, just being bulletproof, if he has flight, if he has electric fingers, fingers, which he does, which is always cool, guys. So he definitely has it all in the one package. But like I said, he's kind of discovering this character for the first time. So as we're discovering who this guy is, he's discovering who he is. So we have Djimon Hounsou as the wizard, and it was pretty cool seeing him, even though that character really seemed out of place to me. He always acts his ass off. He's always very loud and exuberant and just very bold in his statements, especially when he's kind of just talking about the lore of all the wizards and what's going on in this current situation he's in. But for some reason, he just seemed really out of character for me, or out of place in this one with the long gray hair. It just looked a little bit goofy. I mean, especially seeing him in Captain Marvel recently, it's just hard to take him seriously with a full head of gray hair that comes down past his shoulders. So I got pulled out of the movie just for a second, but definitely the lore of everything was really cool and fun. And one thing I can say about this movie, guys, it was definitely comic booky. So if you guys are into those fun movies, this is definitely the one for you. Now, jumping to Dr. Savannah, Mark Strong, his villain character was kind of hit or miss for me. At a lot of times I thought he was extremely strong and menacing, and the whole 7 deadly sins inside of him was extremely dark, which is another kind of gripe of mine. I didn't really know what this movie was targeted to, if it was targeted to teens, if it was targeted to the older superhero fans, because at one point it's definitely targeted to the younger demographic where everything's fun, and Shazam is just definitely finding himself and finding out what his abilities are. And in the next scene, you have this evil character where all these demons pop out of him and start throwing people out of windows and biting heads off and just wreaking havoc. Yeah, biting heads off, guys. So I don't know who they're targeting this to. Another huge like for me, guys, was the payoff. So the ultimate fight at the end was really cool, even though it took a little bit to build up to that whole climax. We definitely got that with a bunch of special cameos, like I said once again, and it was really cool seeing this. And of course, the final end scene and those 2 post-credit scenes were pretty awesome, and I won't lie, I was entertained through and through, and it really sucked me into this whole superhero world, and I was just grinning, and I really went out with a smile on my face. So for that, guys, I gotta give Shazam ultimately a 9 out of 10, saying I really had a good time with it. The CG was really great too, and even the slower parts weren't too slow for me. And usually the writing is something that I pick apart, I mean, especially when it comes to younger type characters, but this one had dialogue that I could definitely relate to. Billy Batson was a character that I could definitely relate to. I mean, I felt like I could feel his pain, especially going from family to family. He was torn apart, especially when it comes ultimately to finding out what happens to his mother. I won't get into spoilers, but something does kind of unfold in that 3rd act, and you definitely feel for this guy so much. So you kind of feel his ultimate goal as Shazam and the conflicts that are going around left and right with the new foster family and just him adapting to his new school and whatnot. It was great. I thought it was an ultimate package. This is something that the DC universe definitely needed. I haven't seen Aquaman, so I can't speak for that, but this one right here definitely has me on board for the next slew of DC movies coming out. Alright guys, have you seen Shazam yet? What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys did like this video, please smash that thumbs up button. It always helps me. And make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe and bell notification to always get notified about content like this. Alright guys, make sure you guys are hitting me up on my social medias, on Instagram and Twitter at Flix Talk Podcast. And I'll also make sure to leave all that information below, guys, in case you missed it. And I always forget to mention this, guys. My podcasts are on iTunes, Google Play Music, and Castbox. So make sure you guys are opening up your podcast apps and subscribing to Flix Talk Podcast, leaving comments on there as well, guys, and make sure you guys are subscribing on there so you can listen to all these reviews and news in your eardrums, in your car, at the gym, wherever you're going. You can take Flix Talk Podcast on the road with you. All right, guys, I'm gone. Till next time, peace.